So, in this story we will learn about the mythical Scottish creature known as a Selkie. Selkie is simply the Orcadian dialect word for seal, and Selkies are a very common sight across Orkney. Heads bobbing above the waves, they are often seen by the shore, watching us inquisitively with uncannily human eyes. To the onshore observer, it is not hard to see how the legends surrounding the Selkie folk, the seal people, sprang into life. The Selkie folk have come to be regarded as gentle creatures, with the ability to transform from seals into beautiful, lithe humans, and Orkney has many tales concerning this shape-shifting race. A common element in all the Selkie folk tales, and perhaps the most important, is the fact that in order to shapeshift, they have to cast off their seal skins. Within these magical skins lay the power to return to seal form, and therefore the sea. One of the most famous stories regarding Selkie is this tale about the Goodman of Wastness. The Goodman of Wastness was a handsome, well-to-do young fellow. Strong, well-liked, and with a profitable farm, it will come as no surprise to learn that many of the unmarried local girls had their sights set on him. However, despite their ample attentions, the Goodman was a man who was simply just not interested in marriage. Their advances spurned, the local girls soon began to treat the Goodman with contempt, describing him as an old young man and old before his time. In their eyes, he was committing the unpardonable sin of being particular. The Goodman, however, paid these malicious creatures little heed, and as is more often the case, the gossip soon turned their attentions elsewhere. When questioned by his friends as to the reason he would not take himself a wife, the Goodman would smile and simply explain, "Och, women are like many other things in this weary world, sent as a trial to men. I have enough trials without being bothered by a wife. If that old fool Adam had not been bewitched by his wife, he might still be in the Garden of Eden to this day." One old woman who heard this oft-repeated speech remarked, "Oh, careful, Goodman. Be careful what you say. It's possible that you yourself might be bewitched one day." "Och, that'll be the day," replied the Goodman, laughing. So it came to pass that one fine day the Goodman was down on the beach when he saw, a short distance away, a number of Selkie folk lying out on a flat rock. Some of these Selkie folk were sunning themselves in the afternoon warmth, while others jumped and played in the clear water. All were naked, with unblemished skin as white as snow. Their enchanted sealskins lay strewn carelessly on the sand and rocks around them. The Goodman crept closer to their basking rock. As he neared the place the Selkie folk played, the Goodman leapt to his feet and ran towards them for all he was worth. With a shriek, the Selkie folk snatched up their sealskins and quickly retreated to the safety of the sea. However, swift as they were, the Goodman was quicker, and he managed to seize one of the Selkie skins. In their hasty rush to reach the safety of the sea, one of the poor creatures had forgotten to retrieve their skin. The Selkie folk swam out a little distance and turned to gaze mournfully at the Goodman. He stared back and realized that all, save one, had taken the shape of seals. Grinning, he put the captured sealskin under his arms and, whistling a merry tune, set out for home. No sooner had he left the shoreline than he heard the most sorrowful wailing and weeping coming from behind him. Turning, he saw the most fair and lovely woman following him, and yet she was pitiful. Sobbing and howling in grief, she held her arms out and pled to have her skin returned. Huge tears ran from her large dark eyes and trickled down her ivory cheeks. Falling to her knees, she cried, "Oh, bonny man, if there's any mercy in your breast, please, please give me back my sealskin. I can't live in the sea without it. I cannot live among my own people without my sealskin." The Goodman was not a soft-hearted man, but he could not help but pity the poor creature. Pity, however, was not the only emotion he felt. With the pity, came the softer and sweeter passion of love. The icy heart that had yet to love a mortal woman was soon melted by this seal maiden's beauty. Eventually the Goodman managed to wring from the Selkie maid a reluctant consent to remain with him as his wife. She had little choice in the matter, for as all you Orcadian know, she could not return to her kin in the sea without her skin. So the sea maiden went with the Goodman and stayed with him for many a day. She turned out to be a thrifty, frugal, and kindly wife, and although she was a creature of the sea, the Goodman had a happy life with her. The Selkie wife bore the Goodman 7 children. 4 boys and 3 girls came from their union, and it was said that there were no children as beautiful as them in all the isles. And all the while the sea wife and her human husband seemed content and merry. But all was not as it seemed. There was a weight in the Selkie wife's heart. Many was the time that she was seen to gaze longingly out to the sea that was her true home. So, to all the islanders and to the Goodman himself, all seemed well with his family. But as is always the case in these tales, their bliss was not to last. One fine day, the Goodman and his 4 sons were out fishing in their boat. With the menfolk out of the house, the Selkie wife sent 3 of the girls down to the beach to gather limpets and whelks for their tea. The youngest girl had to remain at home because she had hurt her foot climbing on the sharp rocks by the shore. As usual, as soon as the house emptied, the Selkie wife set to looking for her long-lost sealskin. She searched high and she searched low. She searched butt and she searched ben. She searched out and she searched in, but all to no avail. She could not find the skin. The time passed and the sun swung to the west, lengthening the shadows. The wee lass, seated in a straw-backed chair with her sore foot in the air, watched her mother carry out the frantic hunt and asked, Mum, what on earth has you so peeved? What are you looking for?" "Sweet child, don't tell, but I'm looking for a glittering skin so I can make a shoe that would cure your sore feet." "Oh, Mum, I know where that is. One day when you were out, Dad thought I was asleep in bed, and he took out a pretty skin. He took it down and glowered at it for a short minute, then folded it and put it away in the drawer under the bed." When the Selkie wife heard this, she clapped for joy, and rushed to the place where her long-concealed skin lay. In a bittersweet moment, the Selkie wife turned to hug her daughter tightly, saying, "Take care, little one. I will miss you, but my heart belongs to the sea." With sadness and joy, she left the house and made for the shore. Delightedly, she threw on her skin, and with a wild cry of joy plunged into the sea. Shifting again into her Selkie form, she swam out through the waves, where a member of her Selkie family greeted her with delight. In the meantime, the Goodman was rowing home and happened to see these 2 Selkies from his little boat. His wife uncovered her beautiful face and cried out to him, "Farewell, Goodman, farewell to you. I liked you because you were good to me, but my heart has yearned constantly for the deep tumblings of the sea." And that was the last the Goodman ever saw of his sea wife. Often, though, in the twilight of his years, he could be seen wandering on the empty seashore, hoping once again to meet his lost love. But he never again did find her or look upon her fair face.